Alright, good morning guys. Alright, so we are going to go over this essay and then you can work on the essay. So you are supposed to answer the question, how does the point of view of the narrators influence the theme? So the first thing you need to do is figure out your narrators and figure out the theme. When I look at this poem, okay, I see that it alternates. So this stanza starts here and this stanza starts here. Many times authors, poets do this to show two different people or two different points of view. When you read this, okay, you can tell that this stanza is almost the opposite of the next one. So, nothing. When we realized you weren't here, we sat with our hands folded on our desks in silence for the full 2 hours. Okay? And then the next stanza, everything I gave an exam worth 40% of the grade for this term and assigned some reading due on which I'm about to hand out a quiz worth 50%. So, from my perspective, this second piece right here is definitely a teacher. Okay? And when I first read this, I was like, well, then this has to be a student. Okay? And then I'm reading it like, so if the teacher doesn't come in, then this is what the students do. You go on to the third. Nothing. None of the content of this course has value or meaning. Take as many days off as you like. Any activities we undertake as a class, I assure you, will not matter either to you or me and are without purpose. Now, that is a very strong statement. And when I read it, if this is the student, then that student is very anti-school. So, the more I've read it, the more I have started to think that maybe this is not the student. Okay? So, then it says, everything. A few minutes after we began last time, a shaft of light suddenly descended, and an angel or other heavenly being appeared and revealed to us what each woman or man must do to attain divine wisdom in this life and the hereafter. This is the last time the class will meet before we disperse to bring the good news to all people on earth. Okay, so this part is very religious. This is a very strong reference to Christianity and our role as human beings on earth. We go back to the nothing. Nothing. When you are not present, how could something significant occur? And the last part, everything contained in this classroom is a microcosm of human experience assembled for you to query and examine and ponder. This is not the only place such an opportunity has been gathered, but it was one place, and you weren't here. Okay. So, this may be two people. This may be a student and a teacher. This student then has become used to people not being there and puts a lot of value on the relationship with people that stick around. Okay. The teacher sounds like they work very hard and if they're not present, or if the student's not present, then nothing happens. Okay? So, now, if you explore the other theme, that this is one person, maybe a teacher, I would do the nothing stanzas as a very bad day, and the everything stanzas as a good day. Okay? Because teachers do have bad days. This stanza that has the religion attached to it, I feel, is trying to demonstrate that the role of teaching for some teachers is that's it. That's what God put them on the earth to do. So, now that you're probably very confused, okay, let's go into the directions. So the point of view. Okay, so with your pencil or your highlighter, okay, you can talk about each of the stanzas. So the nothing stanzas all seem to be negative, okay? They all seem to represent that what class isn't, okay? And then the everything stanzas are the opposite of that. They seem to represent what the class could be at its very best. Those could be your 2 point of views. Now, how do these opposite stanzas influence the theme? Well, that's going to be dependent on the lesson you took out of the poem. If the lesson is that whether teacher or student, if they're not in the classroom, if they're not present, then the learning and the moving forward and the questioning and it won't happen. Okay? Your theme might be based on relationships. Does this sound like a teacher you would want to have? Does this sound like a hardworking teacher? Do the nothings represent how you feel at times? Okay? So whatever the lesson is, okay, remember to check your checklist. Okay? And this first one talks about your sentence for the introduction. Okay, so if I were writing my first sentence, I would say, the poem, comma, poem 013, colon, did I miss anything, question mark, written by Tom Wayman, has points of view that try to show how the theme is yada, 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 whatever your theme is, okay? That is what number 1 talks about. Number 2, the organization, okay? That means that you have a minimum of 3 paragraphs. You're looking around 15 sentences. If you need to write more, you write more. Number 3, analysis. That's your theme and another student's theme may be 2 different things. So it's the thoughts in your head about writing the essay, about the poem. Number 4, your direct use of text. So if you tell me that this poem is about relationships and the importance of being present for each other, and so you might put in the line from the poem that says, when you are not present, how could something significant occur? It shows that when people that are in your life are not there, then there can be no relationship, there can be no growth. Okay. Transitions. Yesterday I saw quite a few of you guys using transitions. Make sure you use them in between your paragraphs. Precise language and vocabulary. That would be pulling words directly out of this prompt. You specifically talk about the theme. You specifically talk about point of view and your evidence from the poem. Alright guys, so hopefully this helps and we can get some good writing essays out of this. I have faith in you. I just need you to focus, and you can watch this video as many times as you like.